This is the Ballroom State of Mind podcast, episode 127, Advice for Newer Dancers. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I want to talk today about advice for newer dancers. Some of you may have been dancing a long time, and some of you are brand new. And recently I had a session with a brand new dancer. And it's fascinating to me when we're brand new, just the things that we don't know. And she had a lot of questions. And so this podcast, this episode is inspired by our conversation. And it's kind of random. I'm going to offer you some advice that is kind of all over the place. It's in no particular order. But I think also if you've been dancing a long time and you're not a newer dancer, I think you'll still find a lot of value in a lot of what I'm going to share. And I think you'll see yourself in it. But how fun, to be a newer dancer and to be at the beginning. And I want to give you a head start. So I'm going to give you some advice and some secrets, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. The first one that I want to offer to you is what I said was just crash into it. Okay. So just crash into your dancing journey. And what I mean by that is just go for it. It's, you start dancing for whatever reason. And what I see is we go into it because we want to, do something fun, or we want to try something new, or we want to be social. We have our different reasons for going into it. And somehow we get to a point where we want to do it just right. We want to do a good job, and we want to be good at our dancing, and we want to please our teachers and our coaches, and we want to just be so good about it. And I think this is holding us back just a little bit. Yes, be good, be excellent, listen to your teachers, do everything that they tell you. But I want you to crash into it a little bit. Don't be too perfect. And I know this is easier said than done, especially in the beginning, but let yourself be messy. Just let go of the need for perfection. Let go of people pleasing as soon as possible. The sooner and more frequently you can do this, the better you're going to get. Because no matter what, you're going to have to mess stuff up. It's going to have to be messy, and you're going to probably have to mess it up 100 times before you get it where you want it to be. And you can choose to do that over 5 years of time because we're being kind of hesitant and we're trying to be perfect and we don't ever want to look bad. Or we can do it over 5 weeks because we're willing to let it be messy. And that kind of goes into point 2. These really relate to each other, but you just can't skip sucking. Okay? It's gonna be bad over and over again until it's good. And then you're going to find new bad things. This is the way of it. And you really need to get this through your thick skull that this is the way of it. There's no skipping sucking. So when things are not going well, things are not looking strong, and you don't feel like your dancing's any good, nothing's gone wrong, because there's no way around it. You need to embrace that you are always in progress and that dancing is a process of development over time. So many dancers, I don't know why we do this, but we think we're going to be taught a concept and we flip a switch and we get it. It almost never works that way. We get a little bit of it, and then we get a little bit more, and then we get a little bit more. It's not flipping a switch. So realize that once you reach some milestone that you think you've, been reaching for, the horizon's going to move, and then you're going to feel terrible again, and you're going to feel like you suck again. And that is okay. And it's not only okay, it's necessary. Every time I up-leveled from bronze to silver to gold to open, every single time I was at the top of a level, and I was feeling really good, and I was feeling really good about my choreography. And then I'd enter the next level and I'd get new choreography and new skills, and I felt like I sucked again, and my brain would have a gigantic tantrum. And I'd be like, I should quit. I shouldn't even be here. I shouldn't even do this anymore. Clearly I suck. And that is the way it goes, my friends. So you're going to feel awkward. You're going to forget routines. You're going to feel like you don't belong. It's not failure. That's just the process. And the sooner you can accept this, the better. And it doesn't mean that you are bad. Keep that straight. When your dancing is quote unquote bad, which it's not, it's just in development, but you are not bad. You are new. You are not bad. You are just new. Even if you're a seasoned dancer and you've been dancing for decades and you're being introduced to new concepts that are new to you, you're not bad. You're just new. Okay. Number 3, never lose sight of having fun. This doesn't mean we're not going to work hard. And it doesn't mean we're not going to strive for excellence. And it doesn't mean that there's going to be times it's not fun. I'm just saying, don't lose sight of having fun. If you're stressed out and you're finding your dance journey is somehow taking more from you than it's giving, then we got to step back and find a way to have more fun. If we're in a studio situation or a teacher situation that is stressful or toxic or some sort of just terrible thing for our well-being, why are we doing that? Okay. We want to take it seriously, but not so seriously that it's only work. So ask yourself, how can I have more fun? How can I let this be fun? What do I need to let go of to enjoy this more? Or what do I want to allow more of that's more fun for me? And if the people around you, the circles that you have, whether that's your friends or your studio or your teachers or coaches or whatever, if the people around you refuse to let it be fun, it might be time to find a new circle. Okay. Especially for me and for you, if you're pro-am, if you're an adult and you're choosing to do this just because, then there is no reason it shouldn't be fun. You should be enjoying it. You should be, investing in this because you love it and you care about it and all of that, but you should be enjoying it. If we're not enjoying it, why not? Okay. Let it be fun. Okay. Number 4, I think we're at. And this one, I hope I can relate to you. Number 4, maintain a sense of sovereignty. Okay. And what this means is maintain your sense of ownership, maintain your sense that like you're the boss, you're the queen, you're the king. Okay. We value our teachers, our partners, our coaches, and what they offer us is so important. And I am not minimizing that by any means, but I want you to always maintain a sense of ownership of yourself. Don't betray yourself. So what does that mean exactly? We listen to them, we listen to their advice, we honor them. But if you're walking away from lessons or competitions or anything and you're feeling small and you're feeling broken, or you feel bad about yourself, or you thought you did well, and then people say things to you and it takes away your joy, then I just want you to be cognizant of that. And I don't want you to ever let what other people say and do overshadow your worth or your value or what you know to be true about yourself. So my dancing at times might not be exactly what my teacher wants it to be. But if I go out there and I have fun and I feel good and I like what happened, for the most part, I don't let go of that. Even if my teacher thinks it could have been better, I still hold on to like, well, I disagree. Like in my own mind, it might even be like, I disagree. I enjoyed that. And I'll apply whatever thing, that I need to apply, but I'm not going to totally abandon what I think and feel, especially if it feels good. I'm still going to try to hear what they tell me, but never at the expense of my own self-regard. If I'm happy about something and then somebody outside of me is not happy about it, I'm not going to let them take away my joy because it's mine. And I want to maintain my own sense of autonomy, my own sense of sovereignty. Okay. It's also a sense of differentiation, which is one of my favorite terms. It just is like, I'm in a partnership with you and we're working towards certain things. And in some ways we're together, but I'm also me and you're also you. And we don't always have to agree. We don't always have to feel the same. And we don't always have to match in what we think and feel and believe. We can still be differentiated. So maintain a sense of sovereignty or differentiation. And along with that, like not everything our authority figures say is gospel. So I always kind of want to run it through a little bit of a filter and see how it makes me feel. And if I agree, and I often do, but sometimes I don't. And that's okay. Not everything that is offered to us is going to be constructive and useful. And we don't have to keep it all. Okay. So it's okay if we want to like let some of that go and just maintain what we believe. Okay. You're still the owner of your experience. You're still the owner of your development. And you get to choose who you delegate parts of that development to for a period of time. You get to choose your mentors. You get to choose to stay or go. Never forget that. If you started with a teacher, it doesn't mean you have to stay with them. If you started with a studio, it doesn't mean you have to stay with them. I hope you do. I hope you like them. It's constructive and they love you and they take really good care of you. And we don't have any desire to make a change if we don't want to. But also, don't forget, you're the boss. Maintain your sense of sovereignty. Okay. I don't know what number we're at. 5, results. Results are just a tool, not the truth. So the results in ballroom dance competitions are not gospel. They're not commentary on how good a dancer you are. Okay. It's just a tool and they're subjective at best. And you got to remember that these results are a ranking. It's like when I watch the pros dance, and to me, they're all like super phenomenal. They're all great. And any one of you would watch pros dance and go, yeah, like 99% of the time, they're all like, wow. I mean, there might be a token couple here or there that you're like, oh, yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of tell they're not like up to the level the other ones they're dancing with, but they're still good, like 99% of the time. So it's like a ranking. They can help you get a sense of where you are. They can help you get a sense of things and how things are going, but you got to stop short of letting them dictate how you should feel about yourself. Let it be data, but it's not your identity. Okay. And truthfully, if you can't manage your feelings about that, then you got to let it go and dismiss it for now and don't pay any attention to it the best you can. Don't examine the marks and pull them apart and try to figure out the data and who's who and what's what. If you can't use it to help you and not hurt you, then don't look at it. Okay. 6, minimize your mental input. So the more data you let in, the more you have to manage your mind around it. I've had clients that do this. I have friends that do this. They look ahead and they want to know who the judges are that are going to be there. And they know which judges have judged them poorly and judged them well. They know if a female panel is going to be more favorable to them or a male panel is going to be more favorable to them. They want to look and see at the heat list and see who's coming and who they're going to be competing against and who's in their round. And they like to know those dancers and their history and how they tend to perform. And I can't look at any of that because to me, it's all noise in my brain and it's all stuff I can't control. It's all stuff that is now, if I let that in, I got to manage my mind around it. And what I have noticed with some of these dancers is, for example, oh, I saw that these judges are going to be there and these judges don't judge me favorably. So now I'm going into my rounds already mentally defeated because I think I can't succeed. And if you don't think that that's going to affect your dancing, you're in denial. Okay. So I choose not to pay attention to any of that. I don't look it up. And it's not because I'm afraid of it. It's just, I don't want to manage it. And I don't think it's going to affect my dancing. I'm going to dance my best. And this is what I advise for you. Dance your best, dance your hardest, dance and focus on the things that really matter, like your skill or your conditioning or your artistry or your decision-making in the moment. You're going to do your best dancing no matter what. And so it doesn't matter who the competitors are there. It doesn't matter who the judges are there. Those things are all going to take care of themselves. The results are going to take care of themselves. And if you focus on your dancing and always improving your dancing and getting better all the time, those are going to take care of themselves. So there's something called the law of occupied space, which is your brain, your emotional state, all of that. You only have so much capacity and you only want to use that capacity for relevant things. There's only so much space that can be taken up. And if I'm taking up that space with things that don't matter, that I can't control, then I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. Okay. So manage the mental input. Don't let it in unless you want to manage it. Okay. Block it out. Doesn't matter. Number 7 is compete if you can. And we could also say, perform a lot, perform as much as possible if we can't quite compete. So the question around this with my client was around like, is there ever a time that you should wait to compete? Like, or is there such a thing as being too soon to compete? And this is a little bit tricky. So I hope I can kind of explain this. If you can compete, I think you should do it. There's just a couple of things to consider. One, yes, there's a money thing. Competing is not cheap. So most of us are choosing to compete or not based on what our finances allow. So that's, like, if you can't compete, that's fine. We can find other ways to satisfy what I'm going to say to you. But there's a money piece. There's also, I want you to go into competing and I don't want to throw you into the deep end. So I want you to compete when you feel ready to do so to a degree. I'm kind of going to go back on that in a second, but I personally wouldn't want to take a student to a competition who I felt like they were going to walk away feeling like they failed, or I wouldn't put them in a situation that they're like not ready for really. So keep that in mind. Financially, can we do it? Like, can we feel successful doing it? Like, consider those two things. But if you can compete, I think you should. Here's why. Because nothing will improve your dancing faster like competing can. Nothing can grow you like competing can. If only because there's something in the future that we're moving towards. There's some date that we're like, we want to have some things ready by this time. You have these deadlines that you're working towards. And so it's pushing you to move a little faster than you might otherwise. So when you go to a competition, whether you have one style or three styles, you're on the floor longer, you're testing your stamina, you're pushing your conditioning. So if you can compete, and we could also say perform. If you can perform, if it's mini matches, if it's showcases, if it's one-day competitions that are local to you, if it's doing a show for your friends and family, if you can perform in some way, shape, or form, then do it, because it will improve your dancing faster, better. It just does. It just does. So, but that being said, you don't have to. But if you can, I highly recommend it. But again, if you can't manage your mind around the results of that, if you're a brand new dancer and you go to compete and if you don't win right away and you're going to struggle with that, and you're going to mentally struggle with that, and you're going to feel like, it's a commentary on your worth or your value or whatever, and you can't see it as just like a growth tool and as information, then we might not be ready for that yet. Okay. Because you do need to be able to manage your mind and emotions around that. But also, let's do that too. We're learning and developing that too. So competing helps you with that. All right. So in conclusion, this is just kind of some rando advice for newer dancers. But I want to just say, I honor you guys and what we do. I'm including myself in this, because to choose to do this is such a big deal. I had a client today and we were talking about how challenging the dancing is for her. And she's been in serious competitions, like Olympic pipelines. She was a combat veteran. She's been in some seriously high stress, high achievement oriented situations. And she was talking about how challenging ballroom dance is and competing. And you are putting yourself willingly in a challenging position in a format that you choose to ask more of yourself. As an adult, well into your adulthood, you're asking a lot of yourself. And so I honor you, and I want you to see for yourself, like really show you how incredibly brave that is. I mean, you're putting yourself out there, you're growing emotionally, physically, mentally. And I love that for you and for me. And so many people are not even willing to come close to that. So please do not lose sight of just what a big deal it is, what you're doing. And if you want more support on this journey, because it's surprisingly hard for you, challenging for you in a lot of ways, and you want more support, I have a group coaching program that's coming up for ballroom dancers, and it's launching soon. And you got to get on my email list. So you're going to have to go, I'll link it in the show notes, but you go to my website, and I think it's the ballroom coaching page at the bottom. I'll have to check and see where it is right now. But you can also, if all of that's confusing, just email Amber at amberhader.com and I'll get you the information. But it's going to help you navigate mental and emotional parts of this. We're going to build confidence, and we're going to build stronger mindsets and resilience and self-belief. And you're going to crush it at your dancing. So keep your eyes open. I want to support you there. And until next time, never forget that you're allowed to take up space on the dance floor, okay? And in your life. All right. So I'll catch you next time.